broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, welcome back, Switched at Birth fans. That's right, I'm back. It's Switched at Birth. We're having a mad tea party here as we talk Switched at Birth, a mad tea party. I'm your host, Yael Tygiel. I'm back from all of my travels and or rehab, depending on where I was.
Rehab.
Sure. I'm back, guys. I'm so happy to be here. You can tweet at us live during the show at Yael Tygiel. That's me, YAELTYGIEL. You can also use the hashtag ABTV Switched at Birth. Excellent. With me, my wonderful panel, Hannah Prichard's here.
Hey guys, what's up? Hannah Prichard. You all can follow me and tweet at me on Instagram and Twitter at the Hotshot Dude.
Awesome. And the voice of the chat has been banished again.
To the couch.
To the couch.
So you guys can hear my voice, and you can find me if you want to finally see my face if you missed it last week and the week before at ATORAS890.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you saw our face last week, shame on all. Shame on all of you.
It was my one time, my one shot.
Unacceptable.
She'll be back, nobody worry. Yael's got a lot of travels going on.
Somebody's going to check me into rehab without asking. All right, let's jump into this episode because I was frustrated with this episode.
I was, okay, I actually liked this episode a lot, but I was totally frustrated with it. But it got me all, like, frustrated throughout the entire episode, so I dug it because of that. Alexis, you guys finally watched the episode.
Guys, I watched it. If you don't follow me on Twitter, again, that's ATORAS890. And, yeah, I watched it, and I'm a little upset about a lot of things that I missed over the years.
She's also really frustrated because this episode, every storyline, I was like, why?
Yeah.
Why is everyone being stupid?
Everybody was mean in this episode.
Everybody was just angry.
It's true. Everybody was just mean and obnoxious.
So we'll jump in. There's so much to talk about. Let's jump in with Daphne versus her professor. So all of my notes are this person versus this person.
Because that's what it was.
That's what it was. Daphne and the professor. I liked this professor the first time we met her. She was supposed to be the supporter, the you can do anything. Remember, she had the ladies over to make ice cream and learn to work together.
She was like tough love teaching. Like the teacher that you had that ended up giving you more than any other teacher, even though you bickered and had issues with them and it was difficult the entire time.
She was the Mr. Feeney.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
exactly.
Mr. Feeney's not that mean, though.
Yeah, but Mr. Feeney put them in detention all the time.
That's true.
It's true. And this one, though, she took it too far. Like, she wasn't just... It
wasn't beneficial.
No, not at all.
It was just, you should give up.
Yeah. It was just sad on her part. I was like, you are a sad, lonely, upset woman.
Mm-hmm. And later in the episode, which we'll talk about at a later time, I felt like I feel like this character is a different character than we've met. They were just like, you know what? We need to fill this position on this topic. Let's just use her.
I completely agree. I thought the exact same thing because she's always been tough, but I've always liked her, and she was very unlikable in this episode and didn't even seem like she had a thread of the same joy or, I don't know, positivity that she did before. Now she just seemed like a nasty, selfish, unaware character.
Right. And the whole idea that this episode was her telling Daphne, like, you should give up, you keep hitting these hurdles and it's time to accept that, which we're going to ignore. It contradicts 100% what she said last time.
Right.
But it felt unnecessary.
For real.
Because by the end of the episode, Daphne knew her purpose and was like, I'm going to still whatever.
Well, the only thing that bothers me too about this is because she has been presented as this person who keeps challenging Daphne to make her work harder to do this. But I feel like Daphne's actually hitting a point where I don't even know if medicine is even what she wants anymore. And so now it's making her work harder for something just to prove a point rather than recognizing, which she may have on her own anyways, this really isn't my path.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. As soon as she said, like, there are other things you could do in the similar whatever, I was like, that's why we've seen her do different things now.
Yeah.
Which I think she'll become a doctor and decide to do the whatevers.
Yeah.
It just felt unnecessary, and it took us to this other story with Sheree, which somebody, I can't remember who tweeted me, I'm sorry, I want to say it was Tara who tweeted me saying that that Daphne needs to stop preaching and stay out of people's business with the Sheree thing.
Dude, it's a true statement though.
That she needs to stay out of people's business?
Yes.
That said, I think it was obvious from the beginning that Sheree would now be going to the school with them. Like,
well, yeah. But, like, Daphne, like, cool your jets. The entire time that she's, like, lecturing in a happy way.
Yeah.
Sheree, I'm like, dude, if I were Sheree, I'd be like, chick, just, like, back off. Like, I appreciate you telling me how you feel and wanting the best for me, but, like, dude, like, just chill for, like, 2 seconds. Yes.
I'm going to keep my words to myself for right now, but I do have a rant about Sheree's whole ordeal, but I'll
talk
wait.
to us.
Yeah,
Okay,
do it.
I didn't know if you wanted to do
Nope,
this
this
now.
is now. Sheree's
So,
time.
everybody, this is happening. You can hate me, crucify me, whatever, I don't care.
I'm so excited.
Sheree's whole thing. I've been in her shoes before with a private school that was mostly white and Asian.
Okay,
And I'm
okay.
half black and half Asian. So even though I might be the only black person that was at my school, I understood that there's this weird thing where either black people or minorities or whatever, they decide to go to a school and they get so much pressure on them to be better because they look like they're poor or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I understand that. That's hard and that sucks. But at the same time, that should be enough of a fire for you to frickin' do better. But again, every situation's different. I'm not
Right.
saying that she's not going through hardship. That's fine, because I got bullied all through my childhood, and it sucked. But I'm standing here, and I'm just like, you guys can't see me, but
You're
there'll
sitting.
be a middle, yeah. I'll sit there, there'll be
also
middle
be like,
fingers
they can't
flying.
see you. Don't lie to them. You're sitting.
I'm sitting on a couch, and it's awesome. But no, like, I would just, at this point now, because I am an adult and I'm not going through that crap as much anymore, I just sit there and I'm like, you know what, that should be enough for you to sit there and show them different instead of being so stressed out that you're like, I'm going to quit school. And that just kind of proves you wrong there.
Exactly.
I'll say this, though, and I because people handle things differently.
Exactly.
So I'm usually I'm not a role model, guys. Usually, I'm the type of person that when people are
Lord of mercy.
I'm not the person who, when people are a jerk to, I'm like, I'm gonna prove them wrong. That's not the type of person I am. I'm like, well, this is dumb. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm that person. So.
I mean, I completely agree with you. I would rather her do that and then go to a different school.
Right. Yeah.
Not her just completely drop out and then just not do anything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It reminds me a lot of Travis when he was going to not go to college and he was going to just go become a dock worker with Garrett.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Sorry, guys.
Guys, it just got really steamy.
It got
in
real
here.
steamy.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh, okay.
I don't even have words. We'll just go back to that later.
So, Sheree. So, like, her plan was she was going to quit school and become a caterer or a waiter for a catering company. She wasn't even the caterer, right?
Yeah, she was a helper.
Correct.
She was the waiter.
Yeah.
Which is a great college job.
Yeah.
It just, the whole storyline felt unnecessary, and Sheree, up until this point, like, that's the other thing that bothered me, is that she's not that character. She's not like me in that I'm the give up, I don't care about your opinion type of person. She is the underdog who fights for
Exactly.
it, which is the character. Everybody was a different character this week.
Right. I was like, what? Are we just reworking old, like, new storylines for old characters, like, just to bring them back on? Because, like, they're not being the same way they were before. I thought the same thing with Sheree. I was like, wasn't she, like, the fighter that previously? Like, I'm very confused how now she's the one. And I don't know if that's just because, like, once you go to college, you're by yourself. It changes the way that you react in situations, and you really, like, figure out how you are, like, by yourself completely. But I don't know. I really was bothered by the things that Sheree was saying. Not bothered by the way that she felt about it, but bothered by the way she didn't feel about it. You know what I mean? Just kind of like let it happen and peace out on it. I was like, yo.
Right.
And the fact that Daphne wasn't supporting that part of her story rather than like just get back in school.
Okay. So Daphne needs to shut her freaking mouth.
She
like, girl, you don't know her life. You don't
know her.
Oh my word, that just happened.
Yeah. But I'll say this one other thing before we move on from this topic. I feel like bringing Sheree to the school with them, was it KCMU?
Yeah.
KCMU. I wanted to say CK, but it's KC. KCMU is. It feels like. I'm not gonna say that.
Okay.
But
you can't do that.
Amy
Yes, I can.
Sanders in the chat thinks that Travis and Sheree would make a good couple because of how similar they are.
Oh, because they both were willing
That
to
is
give
very
up.
interesting.
No, he married Beth.
I can
Married
never.
Beth, guys.
True, but that would be like an unlikely couple that I would probably actually get behind. Like the unlikely ones, I'm always like,
You are.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. All right, I'll accept it. That was a good. Who was that?
Amy Sanders.
Good job, Amy.
Amy Sanders. I like
alright.
that name.
I want to talk about Hope and Regina and Eric and Will and the money. Before we talk about Hope, because Hope is crazy.
Yeah, dude.
I don't like her.
Crazy.
Like deep seated crazy.
I want to tell you guys about someone
It's
else
the
who's
drugs.
crazy. I want to talk to you guys about Rachel Bloom.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
The show is so freaking good. I've been watching it.
Did you watch last night's?
Yes,
I
I
haven't watched last night's. Nobody tell me. Don't tweet at me
No
yet.
spoilers. For those who haven't checked it out, the show is called Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. And I'm going to be honest, some of us have all been there.
Like, everybody knows I'm a crazy ex, don't they? Listen, y'all, I have improved my life very much, and I like to I like to think that I have come a very long way.
But let me tell you about this girl. So Rebecca Bunch is the character. And Rebecca Bunch, she might seem a little crazy, but she gets a second chance 10 years later to meet and be with the man of her dreams. So she leaves New York to go to West Covina, California.
West Covina.
Sounds like a horrible place.
I know it.
But the beach is only about 2 hours away or 4 hours in traffic.
Only.
So she goes on this journey to find out what she really wants, who she really is. And, for better or worse, she's got a new direction in life and a song in her heart. And the most important thing is that you guys should be checking this out. It is from the writers of The Devil Wears Prada and the director of 500 Days of Summer. Both quality films.
Yes.
Singing, dancing. You can check out the trailer at cwtv.com. More importantly, you can watch the show Mondays at 8 on the CW.
Yeah, or on Hulu. That's what I do.
Awesome. Let's get back to our crazy ex.
Alexis, you guys can't see her, but she has this just like angry look on her face about talking about this entire episode.
And story arcs and people that are like that are like, this guy kidnapped my son from me and all of this crazy shit. And I'm like, no, you were crazy and you were also on drugs. Like,
Yeah.
no.
So here's not to predict, right? So Hope comes back, which we saw at the end of last episode. What a crazy twist. The fact that she found them and found the house, impressive.
Scared the crap out
Real
of me.
impressive.
Which did she explain how she did
Nope.
that?
It doesn't
No,
matter.
nobody. Okay.
Nobody questions it.
Nobody wants. Oh wait, they still did a write up at the Cracked Mug, didn't they?
No.
But didn't Bae mention the Cracked Mug in her interview?
Yes.
She did, didn't she?
She
She
said
did.
that she was at the Cracked Mug and she was looking at her drawings and that's how they met.
No.
Yeah,
no,
but
no.
didn't
in the
Bae
interview?
in
I
the-
don't think so.
No.
No.
Okay. Why didn't I think that happened?
Because you were hoping that you found the
But
connection.
I thought that they showed the
Nope.
newspaper at some point.
I don't think they did.
They didn't,
I don't think so.
y'all.
Take it to the chat room.
Yeah,
I'm
guys.
waiting for someone.
We're
to
waiting
talk
for
about
answers.
Because you know what? I either dreamt it or I think that I'm right. So
Regardless. All right, so we have Regina and Eric freaking out because Hope kidnapped Will, which Bae was there babysitting, and she wasn't aware of the situation. So before she
great.
can call 911, she gets a call from Regina, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be honest. Guys, call the frickin' police.
Yep, that was my
I know,
first
right?
reaction.
Right when she like started to call 911 though, and Regina's number popped up, I'm like, of course, because that's really what happens in life. Unfortunately, you're like, emergency. Shit, I have to take this.
No,
you know what I
the
mean?
The correct thing to do is hit ignore and call 911. Like, the kid's been kidnapped. You can explain it to Regina after you call 911 because the first question a concerned parent would ask is, did you call 911?
But because of Eric's backstory, is that the only reason why they won't call the
Yes,
the cops?
because he would be arrested because he's the kidnapper.
But
Which-
that doesn't count,
Right.
right?
Exactly. Which, like, I feel like if they took it to the cops, then, like, Eric would actually be more safe from the situation or getting arrested than
I think both parents would be arrested.
probably.
Yeah.
But here's what I want to say. I am really worried about where this is going because of Finding Carter. Not to give away spoilers for anyone who doesn't watch it, but we've learned that in Virginia, I believe,
Yeah.
there are laws that kidnap by parent isn't kidnapping.
Yeah.
So we're in another state, I was going to say country, state, it's essentially another country, where we don't know the laws, and it's possible, maybe not, because he took Will to begin with, and he fugitive, whatever. We'll find out. But
Yeah.
like, I feel like that's going to be where we're headed, is who legally is kidnapping, who legally has rights.
Well, because Eric originally could have taken it to court and probably gotten custody of Will anyways. Like, why he didn't do that to begin with is stupid to me.
I think the idea is that neither one of these parents in the court's eyes would have been seen fit, right? He was part of a gang and she was doing
True
drugs.
statement.
That's my theory.
And now they still don't seem fit because they keep stealing him from each other.
Right.
So somebody's going into the foster home where Regina's
Andrew,
taking him.
Andrew says when Regina went to Atlanta, Hope fixed her car, and I think she used her receipt to track her down.
I mean, that's possible.
I have no idea.
I think let's go with that, because then Hope says to Regina that she knows that it was a rental car, right? She goes, "You cut the line in your rental car. That's
Yes.
crazy." Which means that she went to the rental car agency, which means she probably found the info about Regina. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
call.
yeah.
There was a prediction in here by Joan, by the way. That's
Yeah.
actually her whole name.
Joan, by the way.
That's what it says on here. Joan, by the way.
Hey, Joan, by the way.
I think we will find out Eric and Hope are working together to extort money from Regina.
How dare you, Joan, by the way.
That's just what it says.
Like, I hate that, but that's brilliant.
Yes, agreed. Yes.
I mean,
No.
So
I don't think I
messed
can
up.
see it, but I mean, if it did,
Right?
I don't know.
Whew, that'd be bad.
Well, so my thought was, because now they're trying to find the money and whatnots.
How much was it?
100,000.
Yeah, to start a
Nobody's
new
coming
life.
up with that in 24 hours.
More importantly, Hope was like, "I've seen where you live. If I were Regina, I'd be like, I'm in the guest house."
Yeah, you crazy?
Like, yeah, you saw where I live. You were underneath it because I live above the garage. Like, yeah, I don't live in the big house.
No, that one's not mine.
I live
Chat
in
is
the-
going crazy.
I live
Really?
in the-
Joan
This
thing.
Joan. Damn it, Joan.
Anyway.
I live in the servants' quarters.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly. Yeah, I completely agree with you.
Yeah, like that's your response, Regina. Not, I need 24 hours. Not like, okay, you're right. You caught me. I live in a big house. I'm paying rent because they don't have the money to afford it.
Well, that's
Regina's
why-
totally lost
That's
it.
why I agree with you guys. I think there's something wrong with Hope because that's going over speculation. It's like I could have a big house, but it doesn't mean I could be living paycheck to paycheck
Yeah.
to make this house work.
And
Right.
who needs $100,000
She does.
to like start over unless they're trying to start over like relatively big? You know what I mean?
She lives a lavish life. Okay.
Like that's
Stalking
a
is a
lot
lot
to
of
So
me.
I was actually thinking the opposite.
You didn't think it was enough? I guess it depends where you're
I
living.
was like, where are you going? Because it ain't
Yeah.
California or New York.
That's a true
What I
statement.
was thinking. She's probably trying to go out of the country. Like,
Yeah.
well, but
Mexico.
Yeah. Like
100,000 in
Mexico.
Mexico, you're a queen.
You are.
true statement.
yeah,
Or
you're
just
always
go to a small town,
What?
Hope.
You're always a queen, Yael.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Aw.
I mean, you too, Hannah. Oh my gosh.
You're great. It's fine. It's fine. I'm a princess.
Anywho.
It's okay. I'm the fool.
Okay.
Sorry.
Here's my thought. They're gonna give her the money, and she's gonna buy drugs, right? Like she's an addict.
Yes.
She's gonna
right?
sell them.
Sell
She's
drugs
gonna sell drugs and get more money.
and get high.
And what is Will's actual name? She kept saying. I wanted her to.
Keon.
I wanted her to stop saying that so
wanted to
badly. I
smack
was
her.
like, that is not his name, ma'am.
Also, that is stupid name.
Exactly.
No offense to anyone named Keon.
No, it's a terrible name.
It's not a good name.
There's a comedian I know, his name's Keon, and I think he's great, but I hate the name. I think it's
Is that never mind. I won't.
No, don't do it.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah,
Yep.
don't do it.
Okay. We're going to move on from this story because the story's dumb. These stories, guys. All right, let's talk about the baby shower because we've been holding on to this for hours. The baby shower. All right, Lily, girl, I know you're preggo, but like that dress
Was not a good choice.
She looked like a big bubble.
Like,
She's like Glinda, but bubble.
Right?
Like a bubble form.
Like, I feel like pregnant people, like, you all see each other in pictures at showers and like in clothes, and like, have we not learned yet that like actually going with the dress without a shape actually makes you look a lot larger than like going for a tight fitting one?
Yeah, this is why plus size girls don't wear muumuus. We don't wear
I'm wearing a
muumuus
muumuu.
unless you're gonna put a belt around it. All right. So Lily's stressed out about leaving her job. She's more stressed about leaving Melody. Melody pulled some strings so that they could get their kids in the daycare.
Which was really cute.
Really cute. Except that she said both of our kids, and I was like, she like said something as though she only has one, and I was like, did you forget that you're picking up two? Melody, you forget you're buying two?
You're buying two
for
of
the
them?
price of one? Is that you forget? Right? That is still the plan, unless I missed something.
No, that's still the plan. They're going to have a double stroller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, ridiculous.
Ugh.
Boo 69Bs thought Lily looked like a cupcake.
Yes.
She did.
Yes. Definitely. Do you guys remember there were those dolls that like sat in a cup?
Yes.
She looked like one of those.
She did look like one.
What were those?
Good call, Boo.
I don't know, but
You know what I'm
man,
talking
that's
about.
hysterical.
You know what I'm talking about. All right, cool.
Andrew said that he loved Catherine in this episode.
Yes.
Well, first let's Catherine's dress and body.
Ooh,
Right?
Woof.
Leah Thompson.
Woof.
She looked great. But I will not lie, the first thing I thought when she like walked out, I was like, okay, what woman finds it, you know what I mean? To like roll up in that at the baby shower. She like capitalized on her moment to be in like a dress and show off her figure and was like, whoop.
Like,
Catherine come rolling in.
Look at that cleavage.
Yeah.
I'm in this.
I was like, who?
I
What?
approve.
I
No,
also
she looked
approved.
awesome.
I don't know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But I was just shocked that wardrobe was like, you know what? Let's do this.
Catherine would wear this to a baby shower.
Andrew said
She would.
that
She
damn
would.
professor, small world.
Oh, I mean, they work at the same school. It wasn't that surprising.
Yeah.
So we had said, I feel like that was, they brought her there because they needed someone to be like this. And they were
Drama.
like, this will make sense.
They could have used anybody
Just
though.
for
Yeah.
drama.
Well, because they used that other lady
Yeah.
who's like, these kids are special.
Oh my
So,
God.
Here's what bothered me. Aside from a lot of things. I get into discussions a lot with people about deaf culture. Especially when I was in school studying ASL and deaf culture. And that people constantly say, like, well, wouldn't you want to fix this? And people don't mean it, right? They don't mean the way it comes out.
Yes.
We know that. This professor kept digging herself a hole.
Yes.
Because she couldn't find better words. She just kept finding worse ones.
Right. Which there may not be better words,
Right.
but just like know your audience.
Right.
Abnormal.
Yeah.
Mercy.
Oh God. It
Abnormal,
was just getting
defective.
worse.
Yeah,
I
like,
just wanted to give her a shovel and be like, here you go.
Yeah.
good job.
Good job.
So, also, this is not the place for that conversation.
No.
That conversation is a conversation you have with a friend of yours in private. That is not the conversation you have at a baby shower for the woman giving birth to a baby with Down syndrome where there are a handful of deafies. Like, you don't do that.
Oh God, it was not great. It was like painful watching. It just was really painful.
And then seeing Bay translate it.
Which was even more painful knowing that
Yeah.
she was having to translate it and everybody was watching her.
Right.
Oh God.
It was awkward.
I wanted Melody to step up and be like, bitch, sit down. I
Right?
got this.
Because when they went to Melody, the look on her face was like, I can't.
Yeah.
I cannot
waiting
even.
for it. Ryan wanted to make a clarification that it's UM Casey.
You and
Yes,
Casey.
yes, yes.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you. KCMU, UMKC. Oh, yeah. UMKC,
Yeah.
SLU is the one where Sheree is.
Boo 69Bs was like, I just kept yelling, shut up, lady! Shut up!
Yeah.
I agree with you. I had to, like, walk away from my computer because I was about to literally just, like, throw it. Like, I was so mad. This party was, like, the worst baby shower ever.
It was real bad.
What it made me feel like was that this professor, the reason she accepted Daphne in because she was fascinated, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's what it felt like. That she was like, let's see how this plays out.
God, that's really true, and that's disturbing.
Yeah.
I don't like this professor anyway.
We did. She was Mr. Feeney, and now she's just awful.
She's really awful. Now I feel like we're waiting for her to have her, like, revelation. You know what I mean? And I'm like, ain't nobody got time for you. You're a side character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't care for when you come around.
But also, like, they brought in this this guest star, and she's from My So-Called Life. Like, she was a big deal when they brought her. I remember talking about that.
Yeah, oh my God, I do too. I forgot about that. Her first, like, couple episodes, it was like, oh, great, she's wonderful.
Yeah. And then they're like, let's just trash her.
Yeah, pretty much.
Put her in the trash. The baby shower ended. It was obnoxious. It was an obnoxious baby shower. Seeing Catherine really step up was nice. Seeing her look great was nice. Seeing Bae having to deal with everything was interesting. It was very clear, though, that it was going to just continue to bubble and eventually explode.
Yeah, dude. And Regina looked great, too, when she showed up.
When she showed up and gave her motherly advice. So the advice that we got, I wish Mama P was here.
I know it.
Guys, Mama P is her mom. If you didn't catch
She's
that.
awesome.
I was wondering, I was like, who, isn't that Hannah's mother? I'm not
It's
gonna
my
say that.
mom.
Yeah, Hannah's mom, Mama P. Because I wanted to ask her, like, the advice Regina gave was that you know your kid better than anyone.
Yeah.
Better than the doctors, the teachers, and the experts, and follow your gut. Which I think is great advice.
It is great advice.
Assuming that you're sober and sane.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Bae's advice was, your kid's always going to figure it out. So be honest.
That's so awkward.
Which is really true, though, as well.
It's true.
Parents always think they're pulling something over on kids when kids, like, are seeing everything that's happening.
But it's not just that. I feel like even if they don't figure it out, because they will always not figure it out, but they will always be told at some point, right? They'll either figure it out or it'll be revealed to them. And I think the being honest part saves you the drama that comes from them finding out, figuring out, or being told about
Exactly. Because kids, too, like, when you're younger, you're so much more offended by it.
Right.
Not finding out on your own and not being told, because you're learning things about life in general. So you're, like, so much more affected by it than if they would have just told you, and you still would have been affected, but at least you would have gotten the words straight to you.
Yeah.
Rather than, like, a bunch of different ways. Especially from a sibling that, like, no matter what, there's going to be, like, a competitive or jealousy issue between.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's how my mom's and my relationship is. It's very rocky. Since, you know, she lied to me about something that was really big. And I was, like, 12. And it was, like, a big deal. Because I was like, my mother lied to me. And you taught me never to lie. And I was like, yeah. So my mom and my relationship it's getting better. But it's been crap until I hit the age of, like, 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. I want you to know that because you're on the couch right now and we're up here, I'm like, tell us about it, Alexis.
I would, but I know we don't have a lot of time. So I'll save it for another day. Sadie Bunny said Melody should have pulled a Kanye. That's all she said.
I'm going to let you finish. I would love to see Marley Matlin sign, I'm going to let you finish.
That would have been so great.
Oh, God, and she would, too. Like, oh.
It would be so good. All right. Before we get to predictions, real quick, we got to talk about Bae discovering everything. The hashtag that ABC Family wanted us to use was Bae knows all.
I was like, what's with this hashtag?
So
I didn't
stupid.
even notice it. Maybe it didn't show it when I did the recap.
It probably did.
It probably did. You didn't notice.
Yeah. Those hashtags are really irritating.
I agree.
Okay, great. Bae knows all. And what does she do with it? She tattles to John and Catherine. And I'm torn because I feel like, yes, we should be telling Bae everything, whatever. She's so upset. The fact that she didn't know about the nacho thing, I forgot about half the stuff that they revealed to her. But then she tattled, and I was like, this is why we don't tell you things,
I was
Bae.
like, that's what I wanted to ask, since I know this is the first episode I've seen since, like, season 2 for me, or season 1 for me, was, I don't know how I feel that she told them.
Okay.
I'm shedding. I'm sorry.
Everyone has been talking about your hair since, like, it's still
because it
happening.
looks so good.
They're like, what did you do? Did you dye it? What did you do to it? And I'm like, she straightened and curled it. That's what she did.
It looks so good.
real quick before we continue on this topic, shout out to Marissa Serafini at Serafini TV who curled my hair.
Yep. I said that in the chat like twice.
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry that I'm shedding everywhere. Keep going.
Hannah's done.
Marissa clearly did not do my hair. It's real rough today, guys.
It smells so good, though.
It does smell really good, though.
Go on.
Anyways, I have a couple feels about Bae telling because immediately, also, I was like, okay, Bae, this is why nobody tells you anything.
Exactly.
But second, though, I was like, okay, but John and Catherine should know this information. But then third, the look that Bae gave at Regina when Regina came through the door was like, yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
And I was like, now that's immature.
Yeah.
Like, technically, they should know. They absolutely should know because she's living in the house, and that also affects Bae and Daphne and their safety. But that look on her face that was like...
There's so much sass coming out of her. I was
now
just
what?
like, you have no right.
No,
yeah,
not
like,
great.
Girl, they told you everything. Quit being upset.
Yeah.
Don't be a bee about it.
No, it was not
All
great.
right. On that note, it is time to head into predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Great. That was it?
That was disappointing.
No, there's a shorter one and there's a longer one.
I know, but that was disappointing.
I know.
And
Yeah.
Complain enough
Your
and it happens.
AfterBuzz TV.
Only for Yael and Hannah. Boost and Bees, which I was actually on the same boat as her.
Yeah.
Was anyone thinking that Lily was going to go into labor when she had that weird moment in the bed?
I mean, didn't we already establish that she has Blobbity Hicks? What's it called? Braxton Hicks? Right? She gets the... Whatever.
I don't know. I hear medical money talk and I zone out.
Taxes.
Taxes? Doctors?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It crossed my mind for a second, which leads us into predictions because it looks like the baby arrives. That's right.
So fast.
At least we see Toby holding a child with Down syndrome. So
I know. I'm not gonna continue.
We can't even talk about the 9 months that happened in a month.
Well, I mean, we have, right? So this episode is right before summer starts because we have Daphne talking about her summer plans, internships. Sheree talk about school being out for summer. So we know that we're at summer already. Stop giving me that look.
It just drives me bonkers.
And we started this half season in January.
Truth.
Because somebody told us something about the sport thing that they went to.
Truth.
Right? Sport? Okay.
Yeah. True.
Quinn comes to town. So it's Quinn versus Mingo. Mingo says, I want to punch you.
Which
Bae discovers that Travis likes her. There are air quotes on that for those listening.
I thought she said love.
Sure. All right, whatever. Has feelings for her. Who cares?
Love is a big word.
Melody tells Emmett to let Bae go. And then it ends with the cops swarming. We also see this tense moment between Catherine and John, but there's no dialogue, so I was sad.
Just looks.
Yeah, just intense, angry looks. Predictions from the chat and from Alexis.
Twitter. Alicia Perez.
Hey, Billie Jean girl.
Yep. I think Daphne is going to screw up big time, and Mingo is going to break up with her.
Only if he does it shirtless. Am I okay with it?
Yeah, no.
He can't go off the show. I really like him.
All right.
Nothing yet in the chat. I'm going to check my phone really quick because I think the internet cut out.
All right. So we'll continue with the predictions from the chat as you predict.
Okay, so I do think that Daphne and Mingo are going to end it, but it's not the end of them.
Okay.
I think that there's going to be like a whole showdown thing with Quinn and all them. Daphne's going to be upset for like weeks, whatever. Eventually her and Mingo will come back together once Daphne has cleared her mind and realized how much she effed up.
Did I mention that next week, I believe, is the season finale?
Oh my gosh, it is.
Shut up. Are you serious?
Yeah. Oh, shoot. I totally forgot about that.
I forgot to mention
I thought there was more episodes. Oh, man.
Dang it. I believe.
Just started what? God.
I totally forgot about that.
You have an entire hiatus to catch up.
I have to catch up now.
I think Quinn's going to come to town. Mingo and Daphne are going to have some stress. And Quinn is going to offer Daphne to come work with him for the summer. That's going to be her summer internship, which is going to cause the breakup with Mingo.
That's probably going to happen.
The baby's going to arrive. I think the drama with Catherine and John is going to be that now that the baby's here, it's even harder for them to accept that they're going to move to London.
Well, yeah, and they don't know what to do about Regina. Right. And then Eric's going to get arrested.
I think Eric's going to be in the wind. That's my theory. I think once
You think he's gonna be gone?
Yeah, I think once the cops swarm the house, he will already fled.
I dig that.
And I told you.
I'm not happy about it, though.
No,
I'm still upset about it.
As soon as we discovered his secret, as soon as they told
You
us
know
who it
what?
was, and as soon as they went to Atlanta, I said, "This is the end. We're losing Bishop."
Do you want me to just tell you were right?
Yes. I think
Lord
I
have
said
mercy.
it, and I was right. Anything from the chat roll?
You were right.
So we've got
I know.
we got a lot going on here.
Bring
so
it.
here we go. Andrew says Mingo will knock out Quinn.
Ooh.
Boo69B says
Wait.
Ding. Oh, talk about that first.
Sorry.
If Mingo and Quinn fight, yeah, the shirts better come off. Go
Jeez,
on.
it's gonna be like a chick fight, but with shirtless men.
Can we get Garrett in the mix, though?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Also, thanks, guys. I know that you guys were totally fine with me
So
doing body
beautiful.
rolls up on the panel.
I feel it. I feel it.
Can I just say really quickly that I'm really upset that last week we did not mention that their whole makeout session was in the midst of Netflix and chill.
Yes.
Which just makes me so happy. Okay.
Also, there is a new Netflix and chill show for Popcorn Talk. Dingo will break up. This is Boo69B's. Bemmett will be friends again, and it won't be awkward.
Yay. Yeah, that looks right.
Eric may leave Regina. That was from Audrey O.
I think that's correct.
When the police show up, I don't think they came for Eric. That was from I always have a hard time with his name. D. Grant is what I'm gonna say.
Do we think he came from John Kennett? Came for
That's
John
what a lot of
Kennish?
people are saying, that they're here for John.
Oh my God, you're gonna die if that happens.
Yeah.
Only if he's shirtless.
Everyone has to be shirtless for the finale.
It's a finale.
Why not?
We'll be shirtless too.
Yes, I've been waiting for this day.
I mean, you've been shirtless this whole time. People just can't see
No,
you.
I'm just completely naked when I'm on this couch.
She is.
I do it just for Yael. Jazz.
I love it.
I love his Jazz. What's her name? Says, I think Emmett gets dumped by Sky, so he goes crawling back to Bay.
Oh, yeah.
God, I hope so.
Yeah, I like that.
Andrew says divorce. I don't know who that's for. It just says divorce.
No, the only married couple is John and
Kennish.
Catherine.
That's what it says.
No.
Sadie Bunny says John is getting arrested. Mingo is leaving Daphne. Bay and Emmett will actually become friends. Travis and Bay will remain friends.
Okay.
That's what it says so
Yeah.
far. At least from what I'm reading.
Excellent. Great predictions, guys. A lot of these I love. A lot of these I love if we add they're shirtless. Some of them I'm not a fan of.
Sadie Bunny asked if they've announced season 5 yet.
I don't know, but
It's assumed, right?
Yes. No, I think they did. I definitely
I'm
believe.
like, this show doesn't have to be announced.
Yeah,
Like, it's staying
yeah.
on.
It's like SVU. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
was
never a
assuming.
concern.
Whoa.
Somebody said it's starting in January?
Yeah, I believe that's. No, that can't be right.
Okay, I don't know.
Shadowhunters begins in January.
Oh, there you go. Well, there you go.
And for those who don't know, ABC Family is becoming Freeform in
Freeform.
January.
Freeform.
Free frame, I think that was a slip of the tongue.
I'm tired.
My frame is free. You guys can't
He was
see
on
it.
a lot of jet lag,
Or
I'm like, like morphine or come down pills or whatever because she's been in rehab. You know what I mean?
It's okay. She was just thinking about me because my frame is free right
yeah,
now.
that's.
So.
I was distracted by the voice of the chat.
Anywho.
Where were we? Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We love talking about Switch to Birth. If you haven't already, go to iTunes, hit subscribe, leave us a comment and a rating. 5 stars if you like us, 4 stars if you don't. The other stars, I promise, don't work. We will give shout outs next week. I will remember. I'll be here next week. So will my lovely panel. Voice of the chat, where can they find you online?
You can find me and my voice all over social media as atorres89890.
You looked confused.
Sorry,
you
my
looked
phone was
really
doing weird
confused.
things.
Where can they find you, Hannah?
Hey, y'all can find me on Instagram and Twitter at the Hotshot Dude.
Awesome. You can find me online at Yael.tv. This weekend, if you're in London, you can find me in person at London Comic Con. Come say hello. I have gifts for everybody. Also, I'm on Twitter and Instagram, other places, at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. We'll see you here next week for more Switch to Birth.
Woo!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.